Hey, I wanted to try making a quick video of how to remove the cover panels from the MP4-12C engine bay today. I had a little bit of trouble figuring out how to do this, and I couldn't find a good video at the time, so hopefully this is useful to somebody. To start off, there are a few obvious things. There are 7 screws that hold down the panels on either side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 right there. You also need to loosen up the coolant reservoir. You don't need to completely drain coolant or anything, but there are 3 screws that hold that in, and actually 2 in the front here, and then 1 that is in the back. You have to reach in from underneath here. I found it useful to remove the engine cover for that portion. And actually the one in the back is, it's a nut. You just need to loosen it up a little bit, and then you can pop this up and jiggle it to get it out of the way a little bit. Another thing that you want to do before you begin is to apply some masking tape all around where this panel comes off. You really have to kind of wiggle it around and bend it, and there's some sharp spots on it, and you don't want to damage it or your paint, most importantly. So actually it's useful to put some tape around the top of it here as well. Mine is pretty damaged there from a previous owner not being so careful. And then one more thing I found useful. As you can see, I have a piece of wood propping up the hatch here. What I did was I disconnected each of the struts holding up the hatch, and I also removed the little studs that connect to the struts from the support bracket for them. And that just makes a lot more clearance here to get the panel out. And I think that those are the key things to take care of before you begin to try to get it out. Outside of that, there isn't really a whole lot of magic to it. It's just carefully wiggling the panel around and honestly bending it a little bit and pushing things out of the way until you can slide it up out of here. So I'll do my best to demonstrate without damaging my own panels or making a fool of myself. So lifting up a little bit here, you can see we immediately get some interference with the coolant reservoir, which I'm going to lift up as much as I can and kind of rotate out of the way to the extent possible. So I'm going to try to pop off this top section here up on the side. Alright, that's kind of out of it a little bit. And there, down it goes again. I guess I'll have to do some editing here and try and make this look like I knew what I was doing. So, coming up a little bit here. So we're slowly getting the point where this notch is aligned with the bracket here. We do want to get to the point where we can pull it off over the bracket. And so I'm going to keep lifting up a little bit and pulling back a little bit more. There it goes up over the bracket. That's the key part. Once that happens, it should be able to hopefully lift out of here. So, it's not pretty, but it can be done. Just in case you didn't see it from before, these are the 2 forward screws I was pointing to, and there's the 3rd one right there. And that's it. All right, I'm going to try to put this back in again. Let's see if I can get it under the coolant reservoir here a little bit, for starters. So there we are. This is the sharp portion over on the right side here, if you can see it. Alright, I'm going to try to get this by its bracket. there for a little bit more tape. Alright. Let's get this back in here. Alright, there, that's under the bracket again. Down there and come forward a little bit. We're a little bit behind that screw. All right, now it should just drop right down. All right, going back in can be a little easier than coming out. Well, there you have it. I hope this is helpful to somebody else.